I'm standing here to discuss a topic that will probably make you uncomfortable. I'm not going to make jokes or attempt to lessen the seriousness of the subject. The statistics I will be presenting you with are from dates prior to April 25th, 2018. I would like to begin by asking you to think about a few things. Have you ever honestly feared the possibility that a school you were in could be attacked? For those of you with siblings or with children, have you ever been afraid for the safety of your family when they left for classes? When someone says the phrase school shooting, do you think it's better to keep your mouth shut or even just leave? Many people don't want to hear the stories of children dying, families losing, or people snapping, but these stories are important. There have been approximately 447 school shootings since the dawn of the 20th century. I say approximately because there were so many that I lost count several times while reading the list. At least 188 of those have occurred in the last 18 years, 20 of which were in 2018. While I began writing this speech, a shooting took place in Ocala, Florida. One student was injured and there were no deaths. However, a person was still completely capable of entering a school building with a firearm and causing harm to people inside. There have been 5 school shootings for every month of 2018 so far. This averages out to more than 1 a week, 1 every 5.5 days to be a little bit more exact. Since the year 2000, there has been at least 1 school shooting in 43 of the 50 states, resulting in about 250 fatalities. 3 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in the United States have taken place in school buildings. These shootings were at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia, Majority Stoneman Douglas High in Parkland, Florida, and Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut. School shootings in the United States threaten students and even teachers of all ages. There were 17 fatalities at Stoneman Douglas, 27 at Sandy Hook, and 32 at Virginia Tech, adding up to a total of 76 deaths, a fourth of the lives lost in the top 10 of the mass shootings in the United States. Of these 76 deaths, 20 were of children under the age of 10, and 36 were of adults under the age of 17. If you go to the Wikipedia page for school shooting, there's a category named Around the World. Under this category is a list of every modern school shooting organized by country. The first country listed is the United States. However, the United States does not have a list of school shootings shown, but rather a link to a separate page dedicated solely to the shootings that have taken place here. This is the only country to have such a page. Since the year 2000, there have been intensive studies and research poured into the sudden spike in numbers of these tragedies. We hear almost every day on the news about the most recent slaughtering of children and about all the ways that we can assure our country that this is truly the last time that it will ever happen. We sign petitions, protest in the streets, write letters to politicians, hold rallies, and walk out of school. We convince ourselves that there will finally be a change after nearly 20 years of gun violence. Promises are made to us and we are constantly told over and over and over again that we are safe. But when was the last time you actually saw a difference being made? The Columbine High School shooting in 1999 brought to light the existence and severity of school shootings to the general public after 12 students were shot and killed in the one place that was believed to be the most safe for children. Schools were once considered to be a place from which parents could be assured that their children would return unharmed. However, the nearly 200 school shootings since Columbine suggest this is no longer true. The shooting at Columbine sparked a conversation about gun control for the sake of the next generation in the United States that has continued for the past 2 decades. The victims of that massacre have grown up now and are still fighting for the lives of their old friends and their own kids. Those killed during Sandy Hook were the children of the survivors of Columbine. They were the same children fearing for their lives at Stoneman Douglas, and they are the ones now taking charge of the safety of themselves and their future sons and daughters. Those children are us. We are the generation raised in a time of terrorism and violence. We are a generation that has only ever been able to consider school shootings a normality. And we are the generation who will make sure no one else has to grow up in the fear that we did. Thank you.